Hello everyone, Bill Parish here from GTT Audio, and welcome to the channel today. Well, today I'm going to do something a little different because, well, I think it needs to be said. What I'm going to do is tell you who Mola Mola is. There are so many people that just think that Mola Mola is a DAC company. The amazing and wonderful Tambaki DAC. Which, you know, we gave it a tour with reviewers, and there's probably never been such a high-end product that has been reviewed by so many and so favorably. But there's so much more. And the first thing I want to do is give you just a very brief history. So, you know, people think of Mola Mola and they think of Bruno Putzis. And Bruno is, well, just an awesome guy and super talented. And probably no one has done more for audio in general than Bruno Putzis. At least one could say in the last couple of decades. That is a fact. I mean, with the advent of with the design of the UCD module, and then all his designs thereafter. But okay, so Mola Mola, first and foremost, is a part of Hypex. It's a division of Hypex. And Hypex is a company that was started by Jan Peter in the Netherlands when Bruno was working at Philips Corporation and developed the UCD module. So, you know, when he's there, Bruno developed it, but Philips owns it. Jan Peter saw this, believed in it, saw the potential, had Hypex, decided to go to Philips, license the UCD module, and produce it. And sold it out to tons of pro companies and high-end audio companies and low-end audio companies and car stereo companies and receiver companies and so on and so forth. It was really the beginning and the birth of Class D. And then Jan Peter, like any great businessman, hired Bruno Putzis. And so Bruno Putzis became an employee of Hypex. And after a couple of years while working at Hypex, Bruno had pushed his design further and created the Encore. Encore is a furtherance of UCD. And it's Class D reimagined. And so it was at that time that now he's working for Hypex, so Hypex owns Encore. So Jan Peter and Bruno had a dream to take this, which was really an unheard of Class D technology, or I should say, I mean, even UCD was, but Encore was so much more advanced that they wanted to bring this to the high-end audio community and do it with their own brand. So the two joined up and created Mola Mola. And that was really the start of it. What I'm going to do is bring some products up here on the desk so you can see them, and we're going to talk about each and every one of them. But before I do that, and I want you to hang in there because this video is a little bit of a trip, I'm going to play a video, and I'm going to play a video of the manufacturing facility of Mola Mola, so you can see the scale and the abilities that they have. So Mola Mola is a Dutch company in the Netherlands, for those of you that can't connect the dots there. And Mola Mola is a design company under the Hypex umbrella. and an assembly company underneath the Hypex umbrella, and then the manufacturing company that manufactures all the boards, the amplifiers, the electronics, is under the Hypex umbrella, based in Malaysia, and it's called CTEC. And so it's all Hypex owned, but it is, there's Hypex, which shipped over 300,000 amplifier modules in a single year. I think 4 years ago it was, Jan Peter had told me. So, I mean, that's like over 300,000 amplifier modules. That's who Hypex is. And then Hypex owns Mola Mola, and they own CTEC. I'm going to play you CTEC, this video, within this video, to let you get a grasp and understand just who Hypex is, who's behind Mola Mola, and who, the manufacturing power of Mola Mola. And I think this is important because okay, there's this little boutique high-end manufacturer in the U.S. making products, I don't know, 40K plus, and some guy, was looking at Mola Mola and this other company, and he told me he was going to go with the other company because he wanted to go with a bigger company, and Mola Mola is small. Well, Mola Mola is not too small. We have over 200 just DACs in this country. This other company hasn't sold 200 products in its lifetime, and that's in the U.S. But you're going to see there's this big Hypex that sells, hundreds of thousands of products per year, and then we have Mola Mola, and then we have CTEC. Here's the video. Well, to me, that was a great video. I hope you guys enjoy it and get to see just, you know, who CTech is, you know, that's who's manufacturing all the boards inside this unit and inside all these units. This is the Kula, which was the first product that Mola Mola came out with using the Encore. But first of all, let me mention that Mola Mola, I mentioned Jan Peter and Bruno Putzes. Bruno Putzes, Bruno likes to get things started, come up with a great concept, develop that, and then off to other things. So what Bruno did is he developed this Kula, which was actually voiced here at GTT Audio. It came in a couple of times. We listened to op amps, we listened to internal cabling, different resistors, capacitors, input stages, power supplies, you name it. We listened to it. We compared what we to what we had here at GTT Audio, and well, the rest is history. You know, this is a phenomenal amplifier and still made today. And then the next piece was the Kula. But after Bruno did the Kula, and then the next piece was the Makua line stage, and then he invented the internal DAC, and then left Mola Mola. So, you know, Bruno's been gone from Mola Mola for 6-7 years. And in fact, while he invented the DAC card in the Tambaqui, he did not develop the Tambaqui, this amazing DAC. The Tambaqui was, well, Mola Mola has an incredible team of engineers. But the Tambaqui was actually finished by a fellow by the name of Jan Willem. And this is important because 2 years ago, my friend and the amazing Jan Peter, who started Hypex and all this, passed away. He had struggled with cancer and passed away. But prior to his passing, he had struggled for a while, and prior to his passing, he appointed Jan Willem to run the company. And Jan Willem had been running Hypex, Mola Mola, and CTech for about a year before the passing. So the transition on the business side has been seamless. Obviously, you know, we miss who Jan Peter was, one of the greatest, most honest and best businessmen I've ever encountered. He was always a pleasure to work with, and an individual who just made the world a greater place. So with that said, many of you didn't know him. Most of you didn't. He kept hidden. He never wanted a single person to be the face of Mola Mola, Hypex, or CTech. It was always a team effort. And that's what it ended up doing. So, in any case, Bruno is gone, Jan Peter's gone, Jan Willem is overseeing everything, and Hypex has, well, Mola Mola has a team of engineers. I think I heard like 13 or something like that. So in any case, and there's a couple of different buildings. One's just an engineering building. There's a whole lot of stuff coming out with Mola Mola. But okay, so we have the Kula, which is an Encore, 400 watts in the 8 ohms, 700 watts in the 4 ohm, 1.2 kilowatts in the 2 ohms. There's nothing this won't drive. We have clients that are using this with MBL 101E Mark IIs, which I think are probably some of the toughest speakers on earth to drive. Now I'm going to show you the Makua line stage, Which, by the way, okay, so it's a line stage. You can use Bluetooth to program it and use the Bluetooth remote. Yes, it comes with a metal remote. There's been a lot of questions about that. It's also, you can get it as a line stage. You can get it with the DAC, which at the time that Bruno had left, the Tambaqui DAC was in here. And then you can also get it with a archival grade Phono Stage, and that was also in here. That was also done by Bruno. So let me spin this around. And if you don't get it with the DAC, this board over here is gone. I don't know if you can pick this up in the camera, but this is the dig-in board, we call it. So this is the inputs section for all the digital inputs. But you can see it's got 6 RCA inputs, 6 sets of XLR inputs, and it also has 2 sets of balanced outputs. And if you need RCAs, you just pop in some adapters. We can tell you which ones to get, the same ones that are supplied with the Tambaqui. But anyway, this is the Makua. Just a really, really phenomenal line stage. And there's many people. I would say this could be possibly Mola Mola's second most famous or most popular product, I'll call it. We sell a lot of these. And, you know, again, we sell them as line stage only. We sell it with the DAC, and we sell it with the Phono, and we sell it in the fully loaded version with the DAC and the Phono. Now let's see some other products. Well, and here we have what everyone thinks of when they think of Mola Mola, which is the Tambaqui, or Tambaqui. This unit has sold more DACs in the U.S. I mean, hundreds in the EU. It's truly a famous product. But what I want to say is that Mola Mola doesn't make a ringer. That line stage that I just showed you, that line stage is just as good. Some might argue, I might be one of them, I'm not going to tell you, but that the line stage with the DAC might be better than just the DAC by itself. There's, this has, so you can see it there, it's USB, it's Toslink, it's AES EBU, it's SPDIF. There's a Rune endpoint on Ethernet. There's an I2S. There's a headphone output on 1/4 inch. There's a 5-pin XLR output. And then you see here, I've plugged in every Tambaqui ships with adapters. These adapters were chosen for sound, not for looks. They're professional adapters. We've tried the mega dollar ones. They don't sound nearly as good. But so you have XLR outs, and then you have RCA outs. We use these in very, very serious systems, $1 million systems, you know, $600,000 systems. There's no problem whatsoever using the adapters. But this is the DAC by which all others are judged. The Makua again. Mola Mola keeps manufacturing costs down by reusing a lot of the same chassis. And in here we've got the Kula, which is an integrated amplifier. In the back you will see you've got outputs for your speakers, binding post, and then you have the dig-in board. You can also have the Phono Stage built in. And then you've got 3 sets of XLR analog and 3 sets of RCA analog inputs. So again, this can come in many configurations. It can come as a integrated amp by itself. It can come as an integrated with a DAC and integrated with a phono built in, or a integrated fully loaded, as we call it, with the DAC and the phono. But this, we've gotten quite a few reviews on this, all favorable. Everyone likes it. The amplifier technology in this unit is a couple of generations ahead of the original Kulugas. So it's not like a product was developed and it stands still. Mola Mola is always pushing the envelope. So obviously at this point, you know I'm not showing a tambuki to you again, but what I am showing you is the Lupe. And the Lupe came out earlier this year, and this is the Phono Stage. That is the option for the Makua line stage and for the Kula integrated amp. This is that Phono Stage in its own chassis spun out. So it functions the same way with 72 different EQ curves. It has 4 separate, independent, fully adjustable capacitance, gain, loading, you know, and EQ curve phono stages. Each one is completely configurable, completely independent. Maybe not super exciting to these people that have one tone arm, but if you have multiple tables, multiple tone arms, you're not going to find anything like this. This is a Swiss Army knife of phono stages. And then again with those EQ curves. Stay tuned on this because we have many reviews coming. In fact, we just had a phenomenal review by Tone Audio on this. But we have a guy who, a reviewer who has a passion of archiving historic recordings. And he now has a Lupe in hand and is just flipping out how he can take all these archival recordings and go to the original EQ curve of the studio and archive it for forever, for history. And I believe he's doing some archiving in DSD, so which was the original reason that DSD was formed. And lastly, we're back where we started. Well, not really. We're back with an amplifier. And this is Mola Mola's latest amplifier, and it's called Perka. And Perka is a stereo amplifier. So you have 2 channels in this little bugger. And you have RCA, XLR inputs. You can select, there's 2 selector switches. One is for XLR, one's for RCA. There's also another switch for gain, which I believe offers 6 dB of gain to the RCAs. Or you can reduce the XLRs down by 6 dB, you know, making them even. This uses a technology, a brand new, whole other path for Mola Mola called trajectum. So this is what I would consider 5 generations beyond the original Encore modules. So that is pretty significant, I will say, if I say so myself. Well, what's going to be really cool is at Capitol Audio Fest, we're going to use 2 of these. Now, why would we use 2 stereo amps? Because we're going to use a pair of Vivid Gia speakers, the G4 S2s. We have a small room, but we're going to take that small speaker that Dick and I did a video on a couple weeks ago, and we're going to do that with a Makua with the built-in DAC, and we're going to use 2 pairs of these Perkas, and what we're going to do is vertically biamp. So one channel, I don't care if it's right or left, is going to be driving the highs, and one channel is going to be driving the lows on each. So they're not going to be monoblocks, they're still going to be stereo amps, but we're going to vertically biamp those speakers. Now I've done this here, obviously, and the results are, well, wow. Wow. So stay tuned. But hopefully you've seen, I've walked you through all the Mola Mola products. Mola Mola is not a DAC company. There's an extensive lineup with a lot of options. It's a huge company under a even bigger umbrella with a massive manufacturing facility that no other high-end audio company has the backbone that Mola has. By the way, everything is assembled and tested and run through quality control and put through its paces for many days, I believe 7 days, before things will ship. There's times where I knew things were built and begged AWOL to ship it out, and it's not until it goes through the QC process and actually passes. And, you know, when things go through QC process, sometimes they pass, sometimes they fail. If they fail, they find out the issue and then they run it through the process again. That's how manufacturing works. Sometimes people think that, oh, if it failed, now it's a lemon, and it's always, you know, parts fail. Parts, you know, things happen. But I'm not saying that Mola Mola's got a high failure rate by any means. I'm just saying how the world works, how life works, how electronics work. But anyway, huge products from Mola Mola coming soon as well. They've been on a roll. This is new for 2023 as well. So Lupe and this new for 2023. A couple of new products slated for 2024. There's new products for 2025. And, well, that's about where they stop sharing information with me. I hope you liked the video, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.